Hi, this is Quiny from Kill For Company, and you are listening to Honest Brutality.
Created by the people, created for the people. No holds barred, no punches pulled, just honest brutality. I don't know what the fuck you guys are thinking, but you don't ever talk about my band again. What's this honest brutality shit anyway?
Honest Brutality.
Hey everybody, welcome to Honest Brutality's Big Sloppy with Evil Irk and the Camera Rebel.
Hello.
Evilest of evils of evil.
That's right. And we're going across the pond today, and we're bringing in basically a family member by now.
Yeah.
A friend of ours.
Our brother.
Yeah, Quiny from Kill For Company. How you doing, Quiny?
Yeah, not too bad, guys. How are you? How are you all?
We are doing very good right now.
Yeah,
Lots
absolutely.
going on our side, and we see you got some exciting stuff going on your side of the pond these days.
Yeah, it's something like that.
For those of you who don't already know, if you haven't followed the podcast this far, shame on you for starters.
Yeah, right,
But-
you assholes.
But most importantly, Quiny is in an amazing band in the UK, and they are Kill For Company. We've had Quiny on a couple of times. We've talked about their music, and we've been waiting for this new EP for quite some time.
Yep.
So this is a very exciting time for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taken quite a lot of time. But I mean, we're just glad to have it finally out, and just making the rounds across all the digital outlets. So you can get it on iTunes, you can get it on Spotify, you can go on YouTube, and it's there to listen to it. It's more about access, as opposed to ownership for me. The more people that hear it, the better. And and we've got we dropped the first video roughly around a month ago, and it seems to be doing okay. And we actually dropped another video today, which is just taking you through the recording process, watching our drummer lay down his one of the tracks. So, and there's going to be more of that stuff coming in the near future. So
Awesome.
Yeah, and your drummer's an animal, by the way.
yeah, he just I don't know what planet he's from. I really feel like they just sort of on a day-to-day, like, each morning they sort of pull him out of a box and they assemble him.
That's amazing.
Assemble him at night, put him in a box, and then, he's on another planet. It's crazy, but he's a really cool dude too. One day I'll bring him out on the show.
Yeah,
for
maybe.
sure.
Yeah, you've been hiding him from us.
Yeah.
What, are you ashamed of us now?
That's because he's in a box all the time.
Yeah, he's in the box all the time, right?
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that if anybody's listening to this right now, you've heard Quiny before if you've heard our radio show.
Yep.
Quiny provided us with our theme music for the opening introduction to our show.
That's right.
Yeah. And we thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, cool, man.
That check's in the mail, by the way.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that was like a Kill For Company kind of thing that I just started jamming, and then I just thought, you know what, like, why not? We might use it actually because we've actually started writing the next EP.
Nice.
So I might start using it, and then once we get a sort of a more up to date version, I'd be happy to let you guys use that if you want, or do stuff in the future whenever you guys feel
Absolutely.
like.
Yeah.
Well, that's how cutting edge we are. We leaked a song years before its inception.
You got to call the song Honest Brutality now. That's the
Right?
name of the song.
Hell yeah.
Honest Brutality. Do you know what? That is a wicked song name.
Damn right it is.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
Song name.
Yeah, every Saturday, our show on Rock Rage Radio comes on, and when it does, it has this blistering track behind all the shout-outs, including a shout-out from Quiny in there.
That's right.
And there it is. That is Kill For Company, and that is the relationship that we've built with you guys.
Yeah, and the song Honest Brutality.
I love it. Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I actually now the wheels are turning in my head.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah, how can I make it even faster? How can I make it more destructive? Why
I
not?
love it.
Let's talk a little bit about the EP, Quiny.
Yeah, Saddest Lost Forever. Yeah, it's, I don't know where to start, really. I mean, it obviously stems back from, years ago with me and Tom, the singer just starting to write together again, and then, forming the band, as you guys know, with Dan in tow. And then I think from a personal standpoint, the last couple of years for all of us in the band have been quite insane. And I think, we've all been dealing with separate things, on a personal level. And I didn't really notice it when we were kind of writing the EP and playing live in the way that we do. And you don't really, when you go to write, you don't have this sort of conscious thing of like, I've got to make this super heavy. I've got to, write and, make sure that this riff follows the kick drum exactly as it does and all that kind of stuff. You don't really think about it. You just write, right? And well, at least that's what I hope bands do. And, and with that, I just kind of, it really, I mean, it probably sounds cliches and maybe something out of the early 2000s, but like, yeah, we literally laid it all out on the table, when we were actually tracking, when we were recording, when we were, crafting the songs together. A lot of, I think, the outside influence of what we were all going through together as a band and individually, you can hear it all there. And I think, although the title itself, does sound to put, it does seem as if it puts a negative spin on things. It's not necessarily that. It's actually more about the positivity in terms of how music brings you together. It feels like something lasts forever. It feels like that negative thing lasts forever. But do you know what? Like, that is the thing that actually bonds the four of us together to be able to do what we do. Take it on the road, be able to play shows the way that we do. And I think people do appreciate, to a certain degree, that sincerity, whether or not they like us as a band, but especially, I guess, maybe from a performance aspect, when we do play live, like, people do appreciate that actually, like, these guys do put everything into their performance, right, and put everything into recording and put everything into just what we do, like, from an artistic standpoint. And that's kind of what it is. And I think, and already from the next sort of stuff, the newer stuff that we are starting to write, we're trying to sort of push ourselves musically to be able to come up with something better than what we've just literally put out. So it's been a long time coming, and there have been obviously delays with trying to putting it out, but it's out now. It's for everyone to listen to, and and we've got a new addition to the fold as a bass player. So it's right. It's going to be an interesting couple of months, I think.
Something I want to touch on that you had mentioned just now was that when you listen back to it, you didn't realize it would be as heavy or as hard as it was. Yeah. And in that respect, in your region, we speak to a lot of bands, a lot of musicians, and a lot of great rock and metal, but you guys, hands down, are probably one of the hardest, heaviest, most aggressive bands that we talk to. And don't get me wrong, I love it. We love that. Mm-hmm. But I wonder, did you not realize you were writing such a heavy EP when you wrote it? Because it is a train ride, man. It's full steam ahead.
Yeah, no, we really didn't. Like, that's the thing, because for us, like, we grew up on listening to that sort of stuff. Like, we, for me, they're heavy. Like, the heaviest, one of the heaviest bands to me in the world is like Slipknot. Just in terms of their aggression. I'm not talking about like what they're, the riffs or whatever. I'm talking about just like, if you listen to the Iowa album, it's one of the heaviest things on the planet. And and then from a drum standpoint, I mean, I think Dan probably drinks about 20 million coffees, or before he even starts. So, he's the perfect addition, and Tom, he puts everything into what he does. So it's like, you add that sort of combination of the three of us, and that's just what came out. The one thing I could say is that we never sat down and we thought like, okay, we need to sound like this, or we need to be current. We just literally got like, screw it, man. We're all old dogs anyway in terms of music. Like, we've all been in bands since we were kids, so it was just like, throw caution to the wind and just go with it, and see what happens. And it's funny because Isolation was written, the bones of it was written in 2012, the opening track.
Wow.
And I remember like writing that with Tom and my brother, who is also a drummer, and he manages and served a son, as I've said before.
Right.
Who?
And he, my brother. Oh yeah, those guys. Right. That was written then, and then when we brought Dan into the fold, you know, it just sort of exploded. I mean, one thing I've started doing since I've been going back to the gym is I'll put that EP is, I will say, it is perfect for working out to. Like,
Rad.
you know,
I don't know. I might die trying to work out to that.
You have a heart attack.
I didn't even like realize until my wife said it. Like, she started going like you know, going for a run around the neighborhood or whatever, and she's like, "I've been listening to your EP, like, and it's proper getting me focused to like run." And I was like, "Oh,
Awesome.
that's amazing." But then I started doing it, and I was like, "It could be on something here." But yeah, it is. I think I've just veered off topic totally here, but it is what it is, you know, in terms of the EP, and there is a lot of emotion that has gone into it, and I mean,
yeah, which is evident.
And we hope to top it with the next one, really.
I got two things for you here, Quiny, regarding your EP. One, it's only 4 fucking songs. What the hell?
I know.
Could have used a couple more. Thank you. But secondly, honest to God, I shit you not, the first time this ever happened to me, I was listening to your EP because I wanted to do a review for it, and I put it in. I made the mistake of putting it in my truck as I was driving down the highway, and I'm listening to it, and it's happened a few times since. But the first time it ever happened to me, I'm driving down the road and I'm listening to One for My Enemies.
Yeah.
And it gets down to where Tom's screaming about there's so much weakness in the world today. And I'm doing 70 miles an hour on the highway, doing everything I can fucking do not to start a mosh pit on the highway with the other vehicles. I swear to God,
Bumper cars.
I literally had that moment go through my mind. You need to smash into somebody, goddammit. For a second.
Wow.
Dude, I've never had a song affect me like that.
Aggression.
The way that did. And I thought I could just see the headlines in the paper. Man starts mosh pit on highway.
With car.
Mass peril. Yeah.
Do you guys remember that game like Destruction? Is it Destruction Derby or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Perfect for that.
Well, there's no such thing as bad press.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
You know, we just won't attach it to our name. No, I'm joking.
But if I was in a demolition derby, I would put that song in to go after him with. I'll tell you that right now.
Amazing. No, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you dig it in that sense. Yeah, no, it's only 4 songs long because I guess we wanted to just put out the best stuff that we had at that point. And I mean, in our set at the moment, there's about 8 or 9 songs or whatever it is, and then plus a couple of new ones that we're working on. But it's like, I'd rather put out your best output rather than put anything that's filler.
Yeah.
Or that feels filler. I mean, I can only go by what I think is filler and what's not, and then it's totally up to someone else in terms of what else they think. But from our standpoint, we're like, okay, well, these are the 4 best tracks that we have. Let's just go for it. Let's just focus on these and try and make them the best that we can from that standpoint. And I mean, we're all pretty proud of it.
You should be. Yeah. It's 4 tracks of raw emotional power, and we've had some time with it because you had sent it over as you were working on it, and we were kind of there through the growth of the album. And I'm still not over it. It's still in a regular rotation in my listening playlist. And
amazing.
The thing is that it always surprises me every time. Every time it comes on, it still surprises me. So this is a good thing. It just makes me wonder, so when you go forward, do you feel like now you have sort of a hurdle with trying to meet that same level of energy and power and aggression, or are you just going to let it be organic and be what it is?
Just let it be organic and be what it is. That's all you can do. I think if you try and set a precedent to top that, if in your head, like you always, I mean, it's trying to strike the right balance between that, because you always want to do better. You always want to, think, okay, we've progressed from this. But the thing is, if you have that mindset from the start, then you're kind of just you're setting yourself up for a fall a bit. but then but you have to just go where it goes. And like, you know, we were like, well, how much angrier can we get? Especially how much, you know, like how do you go further with that? But then I think you just write, man, like, and just see what works in terms of the band. And I think, like, you know, and you'll pick up little things that people might say. Like, people might say, oh, right, you know, it'd be good if you know, oh, I'd like to hear more like lead guitar or something, or I'd like to hear like more from your drummer in terms of his drumming or whatever, you know.
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, mate. He's on a constant quest. Like, I don't know how he does it. It's quite inspiring to see. But yeah, like, you know, I'd like to see more out of this. And, you know, we're always talking about that sort of thing. Like, actually, like Tom as well, he's actually quite, you know, diverse in his actual style. So he was like, oh, I want to actually bring a bit more of this side out of me. And then with, you know, whatever personal things he has on at the moment, he's really focusing on the lyric writing. I mean, the one thing we didn't do with this EP, actually, with the Sadness, is actually demo the vocals. We didn't do that. What we did was we viewed all the footage from the live shows, and then we were like, okay, like, that's the best kind of approach to go for. Why don't we do this? And then, you know, then he was writing lyrics. But I think the next time around, I think the idea is demo literally everything. So every instrument, you know, get the bass player on it, get everyone down for that. And then, you know, be more collaborative. Like, it's definitely a lot more collaborative as well. Because, like I said before, with Sadness, like, Isolation was written before the band even kind of really started. The opening riff from One From My Enemies I wrote when I was about 18 or 19, the opening riff. And, you know, Democracy Has Failed. I remember writing that while I was recording Crawl way back when. So, you know, and then, you know, that song was the first one where we all were really like, okay, yeah, like, we should take it to this direction, or we should go here, or how should we end this, and, you know, that kind of thing. And we're trying to take more of that approach, you know, and obviously there's the whole thing, we're finding the time to be able to do that, and we're making the time, and it's going well so far. So seems to be working.
That's amazing. So I'm just kind of sitting back and soaking it up and listening. And one thing that just keeps on hitting my mind, kind of going back to your wife running and you going to the gym and plugging in your tunes. I think you guys might have come up with a new genre of music. We'll just call it like gym metal.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That could work. That could certainly work for sure.
Like, people at the gym aren't aggressive enough.
I know, but hey, you know what?
Like, especially with the guys that, like, the top heavy guys, the guys that are like, I call them heavy.
Hey, wait a second.
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Not gut heavy.
No, he's talking about muscular guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Fit.
Oh, right. I'd put me in a tough spot there.
Oh no, I can slam him. I don't mind.
Thanks, Quiny.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no, you know, especially those guys that, like, literally, like, you know, they're like really massive on top, and then they got like the tiniest legs in the world. And one, like, they're grunting, like proper, like, you know, like going crazy. They look like pieces of like Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know,
like the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, or that even. And, like, you know, you just want them to. I just feel like walking over and go, oh, just listen to this while you do. You know?
There you go. Absolutely.
And do some squats.
Yeah, do some squats. Oh my God. At like 220 BPM, why not? 230. Okay.
Hey, Quiny, download's coming up this forthcoming weekend. Are you going this year?
I'm not this year.
So I know you were there. You got did you get backstage with the In Search set last year?
Did Tech.
I did. God, I was supposed to follow up with you guys on that.
Yeah, thanks. Here, hey, what's it been, a year? Okay, all right. So
time for an update.
Time for update. Download 2016 and June 2017.
17, yeah. Oh God, it is June, isn't it? I totally forgot June.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know what day it is, guys. Sorry. Like, I'm just literally all over the moment. Yeah, no, not this year, unfortunately. I'm actually not. I'm not good with festivals in the UK at all. They're just muddy and horrible and just I just can't do it. I'm too old. Or not even old.
You're just too civilized.
I think I'm just a. The word that keeps coming to mind, is it prima donna?
Yeah, that's
No, I'm a diva. I'm a total diva, man. I need a bed. I need the ability to get nice coffee without being ripped off.
I'm with you.
I mean, if it was like 10 years ago, I'd be slumming it. But man, download last year was nuts.
You're just telling me that Quiny's becoming a pussy. No, I get it.
No, it's true, totally, and I'll admit to that. I happily admit to that.
So now you bring up a really interesting comment there. Just because we're over here and you're over there. Can you explain to us like what the atmosphere is there? And you said it's a muddy mess. So is it because it's raining or like
yeah?
Fill us in on that.
Like last year when I went around 10 years ago, it was super sunny. It was crazy. Metallica were doing their 20th anniversary of Master of Puppets. It was wicked. It was such a good vibe. When we went last year, I don't know, like the weather just took a big dump on everyone. And the Thursday, like the bands start playing from like Friday till Sunday, but people start camping from like I think it's Wednesday. And 'cause I was working for In Search last year, like we got there on the Thursday, had to get all the passes and all that sort of stuff sorted, and then you get all your your itinerary of what time or where you need to be and all that sort of stuff. And it was really hot day, and people were just partying, having fun as you do. And I mean, it was weird because I didn't really go as a festival goer this last year, so it was just like okay, so we were literally doing. I think we were in the hotel. We were in the nearby hotel room, and we were just like doing last minute tweaks to like guitars and making sure everyone had like everything that they needed. They had a lighting guy with them. They had a video guy with them. They had so there's all sorts going on, and then trying to keep them relaxed because it was like. Actually, it was a funny story. It was me in one car. It was like me, Adam Leader.
Oh God.
Tori, my brother Tori, and he's their manager, and their producer, and I guess our producer Phil. And Phil was doing front of house sound for them, so he was their sound guy. And we were in the car and we're coming up to download. And I guess like for Adam or whoever else, when you go to download as a spectator, it's like, oh yeah, you're going to download. Oh, there it is. And then we saw the sign that said Download Festival, and then we all just went quiet in the car. The car just went dead silent. Shit. Shit happening. And then Adam starts freaking out, and he's like, "Shit, man!" And we're like, "Just calm it. It's all right. It's okay. We're just getting the passes. That's all we're doing, man." And
so awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And then the evening followed and all that sort of stuff, and had quite a chilled evening. And then the day, the morning comes, and I swear it was like the slowest morning in the world. Like, you literally just. I think we were in like a nearby supermarket in the cafe of a supermarket, like just having like a standard like morning breakfast type thing. And then, you get to the venue where you get to the tent that you're playing and you're thinking, holy shit, like this is it. Like,
surreal.
And especially like downloads like, the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It
does a metal at least. Like, I mean, Bloodstock is up and coming and Bloodstock is, amazing in its own right. But, download really is Donington. You see the music videos of the 80s, bands are playing and, you've got the tire in the background, that's everyone's dream, and even though they were playing a small stage and they were opening the smaller stage, it's still an honor, you know what I mean? And I remember they give you like a little like cabin to go and just sort of prep yourself like a good hour before or whatever, and
like a green room.
All the gear arrives, and then we so just kind of went up, set up, and then I realized that shit, I'm about to watch my best friends like slay download,
right?
And then the tent was rammed, like when they played, like it was full.
Yeah, I saw the video.
So,
it looked crazy.
Yeah, I think that was from my camera.
Oh yeah, I think it was actually.
Yeah, I was just in awe. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh shit! Like these are my mates. Like I've seen them in. I've grown up with those guys, so I was just like, shit! Like this is crazy. It was really surreal. And then as soon as they finished, it poured down with rain, like crazy. Like I've never. And because the tent was on a slope. And there's no flooring; it's just the grass, right?
Right.
So you've got the rain hitting the hill, and then it's gone underneath, and the rain is basically seeping up through the grass. Wow. So and then we've got the gear on the side, and it was literally like all hands on deck. We've got to get all the gear out away from the ground
before it's too late.
And they've got quite a lot of stuff, so it was just like pure panic and mayhem. Wow. Got it away, and then I don't know. I sat in a tent for like 3 hours just trying to wait for the rain to subside. It was that bad, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm going home. I was literally like, I'm going home, lads.
Yeah.
I need my bed.
Literally, it was like that, and I was like, okay, no, I'm going. I'm gonna go
over
and because like Kill Switch Engage were like playing, and I could hear them, but I was just like, I'm sat in a tent because the rain is just literally too much. And I'm not talking like, a little.
No, we get it, Quiny the coward. We understand.
Quiny the coward, love it. I've gone from lightning brown to Quiny the coward.
There you go. That's right. Hey, so you know, Quiny. Since I was 13 years old, I've wanted to go to Download. And,
go.
I'm going. We're not going next year. Year after next, my son will be 18, and we're going to go. That's long been on my bucket list. I don't care who the headliners are. Be honest with you, if I was going this year, I'd be a little disappointed because of the lineups. But regardless of who's going to be there in 2 years, we're going. We've set that up. That has been a bucket list item of mine forever.
First conversation we had. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's happening. But I do have a question, on more of a serious note. Because of the state of what's going on, even in London last night, you guys had a situation where there's just some craziness going on. And then at another large concert here a couple weeks ago, there was an explosion that was just terrible. And now I see Download coming, and I'm wondering, with this coming
recently evacuated an event too.
Yeah. So I'm just what are you hearing? What are you seeing over there right now? What's the state of mind as far as going to a show or whatever? Is there any concern at all by people, or what's going on?
There is a lot of tension, especially for the bigger concerts, like I'm talking, anything ranging from 500 to 20,000 people to stadiums. There is a big security concern that sort of comes through, and the tension is quite palpable. And I mean, I work not far from what happened yesterday, and so it's quite it's quite shocking. Like, because we literally we played in another part of England yesterday. We were in Oxford, and then when we came back to London, we were like, oh shit, like this is actually quite bad. And obviously what happened, and it's difficult to sort of imagine, because music, concerts are the kind of place, no matter what it is, no matter what religion, no matter what creed, no matter what you are, that's where you go and you just forget, and it's your source of escapism. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that feel like it's been threatened or taken away.
Yeah.
Especially with a senseless loss of life, it's quite unfathomable. And it's just not. Yeah, it's quite a difficult thing to talk about. Like, I mean, I went out today, and to go jam with a buddy, and you could sort of see that people were quite. I was just getting public transport. People are quite wary of anyone.
Yeah.
They're just looking at you quite suspiciously, or just generally. It's just quite, it's quite tense at the moment. But we have to see. I mean, who knows what it could be down to? It could be political, could be just random, could be, an act of, and unfortunately it is an act of terror. by how these things play out, because like the thing is, and my wife said this to me last night, like, I mean, she's got there's the Adele concert in the stadium that's coming out,
right?
And I was like, well, if you're worried about it, maybe consider not going. And she was like, well, no, because my dad and my brother are going, so I'm still going to go. And I guess her dad's old school in that, like, he's like, well, we're not going to let them.
Yeah.
We're not,
Right.
Yeah.
You don't let them win. Yeah.
Regardless if it's a soft target.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part. And even more unfortunate is the fact that you have people that are radicalized that you can't necessarily identify easily. So the wrong people get lumped into being identified as potential threat.
Yeah, there is that, unfortunately, which is such a shame. And with the way that the internet is, and with the way that media, people interpret media, it's quite, it's quite horrible to see, I think, as well. And especially because you don't expect to see that sort of thing in a big city.
Well,
right.
Especially in your cities. I mean, in Europe, it's become more
London.
prevalent. Yeah, yeah.
You only have to take France, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Gosh, like, we were, I had a work thing and we were in Paris, and, we were literally when was this? About a month ago? Yeah, it must have been a month ago. And, there was some unfortunate events that happened then, and we had just left Paris at that point, and it was just like, wow. We were 15 minutes away from that the whole day, and it was just another senseless thing,
Right.
And the state of the world is quite, I don't know. I don't really have the words to describe it.
No, and that's fine. We just thought we would get your take.
Yeah, and you know what it sounds like too? I mean, just with the stuff on the bridge, I mean, concerts, it's one of those things where it can happen anywhere. You know what I mean? And people can't just stay in their homes and not do anything. And that's not reality.
What they want.
Exactly.
That's what they want.
That's not reality though.
Yeah.
No.
But
well, when you're dealing with people that are radicalized and they don't necessarily even understand the reason that they're radicalized, they have this abstract concept. Mm-hmm. There's no reasoning. There is no reasoning with that. Mm-hmm. So the best you can do is just, hey, here's the deal. And I'll say this straight up. Evil, honest brutality says, if I'm going out with a zero balance.
Right.
Fuck it. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And if somebody blows me up, well, I hope the hell I'm taking them with me, because in the afterlife, I'm going to whoop the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Shit out of them.
I didn't mean to take us down a dark road, but we're seeing all this stuff, and I know that the big festival's coming up, and I was just wondering what the feeling was over there. So I appreciate you giving us your insight.
I totally understand. I mean, I think that with a festival like Download, I think that will probably unite people.
Yeah.
People will be more unified in that sense. But, at the same time, security measures will be taken. I can imagine security measures will be taken in order to, eliminate, the threat of, anything that's imminent. So, I mean, Rock and Ring, fair play to those guys, the Friday, evacuate. And Rock and Ring, I think, is a bit bigger than Download. You're looking.
It's huge.
80, 90,000. It's huge, and to, do what they were able to do, get people out. I mean, I can't speak for whether or not it was a calm situation or not, but to evacuate people and then give the green light to say, actually, it's okay.
Right.
Fair play to them. And I think the festival should still be continuing right now, I think. Yeah. Fair play. But yeah, it is what it unfortunately, it's what it is. But what's been good is actually how quickly, response has been from, say, the police, and, being able to try and contain what it was.
Right.
And, and now, now we're trying to deal with the after. And unfortunately, the sad thing is, is the loss of life. I think it's just ridiculous.
Absolutely. Well, with all of that being said, that's not going to slow you and Kill For Company down as far as getting out and playing shows. Do you have some lined up and scheduled? What do you guys got going on this summer?
Yeah, so we're doing a couple of firsts. I think we're playing. We're gonna go up to Leicester next month, which is I think it's a couple of hours away from where we are, and then which is quite nice. So like we quite actually enjoy like having like the daily, like, you know, when we're playing a show and it's not in London, like we quite enjoy that experience of just like, you know, all of us bunching in a car and just like,
a little holiday.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. It's like that. And then what are we doing? I think then after that we've got a show at the Camden Underworld in October, which is going to be pretty decent. I don't know if you guys have heard of this band they're called Akakaka.
Whoa. Wait,
Hey, what?
Yeah.
Whoa. You got to go to the bathroom. Just let us know, man.
Yeah, no. Akakaka, they're like pioneers of
I didn't think he was going to say pioneer.
Yeah, they're pioneers of like the UK death metal, black metal, that, you know, scene. Like they were like part of the bands that, like, you know formed my childhood. They're just insane, and we're opening a show for them, so
cool.
we're all really stoked with that. So, and then they just played Maryland Death Fest, and, you know, they repped one of our shirts, which was awesome.
Oh, that is awesome.
You know, we need to get Quiny one of our shirts so he can rep.
I have one here.
All right.
I have one here. I just have not shipped it yet.
All right.
Yep. You know, that's cool. I know that they got their name from David Draymond's lyrics. Yeah, they're down. Yeah, they're down with the sickness.
Yeah.
Hey, Quiny, I'd be remiss if we didn't discuss the competition you guys were in recently for, I believe it was Bloodstock. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. I want to talk about how Kill For Company got screwed out of winning that competition, because we knew that you were the best band there, and somehow the man kept you guys down, and that's bullshit.
Oh, wow. I mean, are you trying to put words in my mouth? Oh, wow. No, I mean, you know, we did I think we were like kind of a last minute thing that got added in November last year. Like, just, it was the beginning of November, I can't remember.
Yeah, something
but
like
we
that.
were on the bill for the November one, and we won the heat, and that was all good. And then it was like quarterfinal time, and that wasn't until, that was our second show of this year. And the thing is with those things, all you can do as a band is you can't worry about the result. Like, you can't, like a lot of bands do, you can think about it, but then if it doesn't go your way, it doesn't go your way, and it's just not meant to be. You know, that's what it is, really. And we played our hearts out. We did everything that we would do normally, and, you know, unfortunately we didn't get through. It's just one of those things, man.
It's really odd. It's odd to me that you put out the knockout punch, and yet the guy on the floor wins the contest. I don't get it. You kicked their ass, man.
I mean, we watched all the other bands, and, you know, there was an incredible band that played, actually, that you guys need to get, I think, at some point. They're called Sentience. They're brilliant. Like, they're really good.
Do me a favor. Text me that name, and we'll check them out.
Yeah, definitely. And they're all really super nice dudes as well. So, like, you know, if anything, we made, you know, a good, solid, you know, base of, you know, just people that we've met, and, you know, and we're all talking, like, quite regularly, which is quite nice. And, you know, and they were wicked, and they won that heat. I mean, they won that quarterfinal, which was good. And
by default.
And then they're looking at, the funny thing was, right, like, so they said their name first, they won, wicked. And then they're turning around to me and they go, right, it's definitely you, man. It's definitely you.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I'm going, no, it's not. And then they're going, yes, it is. And I go, no, it's not. Trust me, it's not. And then the next band comes, and then they're like, okay, so this last one, it's definitely got to be you. I go, it isn't. Trust me. and then, you know, and our name didn't get called. It's just what happens. I mean, I can't speak for how it's run. It's just the way it is, you know. It's, you know, it's a voting system that, you know, people have to do, and unfortunately we just didn't make the cut. What can you do? If anything, we knew in our hearts that we played the best that we could, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, you know.
Well, Quiny, just so you know, Honest Brutality is boycotting Bloodstock this year. We will not be in attendance.
Unreal.
You do our boys wrong, to hell with you.
Oh God. Wow.
Hey, Quiny, back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. You were saying that some of the video and pictures and whatnot may have come from your camera when In Search of Sun was playing download. And I wanted to touch on that because you've been doing quite a bit since the last time we talked with your playthrough videos and your guitar videos, and I'm enjoying the hell out of those. Yeah. Are you having a good time with that?
Yeah, dude. I'm loving it. I think because I don't know. I think trying to think about how to phrase this. I think
you like showing off. That's what you're trying to say. No, we get it. No, we get it. No, it's cool. We get it.
Showing off. I wouldn't call it that.
Oh, I would.
You're the most humble guy in the world.
I think from a standpoint of music nowadays, people watch music, I think, more than anything. I don't think that people, you need a visual element to things. And, I might do a 10-second recording on my iPhone and on the iPhone recorder or whatever, play it to my brother or, a friend, and they'd love it or whatever. But then, I don't know, I kind of thought to myself, well, like, I've been playing guitar for however many years, like, too long. I should have given it up a long time ago, right? And just grown up.
Stop.
No way.
Come on.
But, like, I thought, well, even though I'm not schooled in terms of music, there's got to be something that someone might find interesting, in terms of what I say or what I do. So I'm just trying to learn how to teach myself kind of how to film and, using, from the technical standpoint of doing video editing or just like, focusing on that and then having like a logo and all that kind of stuff. And I think altogether I think there are like 13 videos that are out at the moment, and then I've shot another 2. I just need to edit them. I just need to make time and just do it. And then I think there'll be a lot more coming like very soon in terms of playthroughs. Like I'm thinking about doing a thing called Metal Bands That Changed My Life, and play their songs in homage almost, and the whole point with the Guitar Corner, I guess, is just so like, and it could be anything. If I think, oh yeah, this technique might be beneficial to someone, yeah, go on, I'll give that a go, and I'll just try and do it really slowly or whatever, and then to speed and all that kind of stuff. Or if there's a gear review, yeah, I'll try this out. Why not? And different concepts as well, like things that I just do, to make my playing kind of just fumble its way through as it does. So.
The age that we're at right now, or the time that we're at
don't bring
right now.
The age. Come on, that's wrong.
In the world is, like you said, the visual. And there are a lot of younger folks that are getting on, and they're learning from watching these videos. So you are definitely going to be one of these, people that they're going to go and watch your videos and learn from you. First off, to be a musician and to write music, you're touching people anyway. You're making a difference in somebody else's life. And to do the videos as well, you're making a difference in their life, only in a different way. So it's pretty cool. I dig it.
Thank you. And I think, I think it's definitely a necessary thing to have. Is definitely the visual element, and especially with the way that YouTube works. And I don't know, like for me, it's been actually quite therapeutic in a way to be able to do it, to be able to like focus on something and just be like, right, you know what, like today I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to, just riff and see what it sounds like. And if it sounds good, I'll put it online. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And that's the beauty about the internet. The only problem with the internet is that, like, I think someone, who is it that said it to me? Someone said it to me. It was like, you've got all this thing, or all these things in terms of the scroll up technology that we have nowadays, that you could have 1,001 guitar, 1,001 guitar videos, but all anyone's ever going to remember is that that cat, that cat video, where the cat falls off like a couch or something. It's very hard in terms of penetration, to be able to make your video stand out.
No, that's a good point.
Well, see, this is what you do. You do your video and you have a cat on the couch and then have somebody behind the couch and just kind of like knock it off the couch. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's an idea. That's actually a very good idea. Now I just got to find a cat, right?
Right. Add those creative elements.
And the thing is, I don't get on with pets either. So
Perfect.
The older I'm getting, the more of a cynical, shitty human being.
Get off my lawn. Are you becoming a get off my lawn guy?
Get off my lawn.
That's an American saying. Have you not heard that?
Yeah, it's what us old people say. Get off my lawn!
Get off my lawn, you damn kids!
Amazing.
Yeah.
I might do.
So what have we learned so far today? We've learned that Quiny likes to show off on his guitar and he hates cats. All right.
And he
going forward.
And he doesn't like festivals.
He doesn't like festivals.
And he's afraid of the rain.
You stop it.
He's a coward when it comes to the rain. Quiny the coward.
Picking on my Quiny. My Lightning Brown knows what's up. In fact, one of my favorite videos the most favorite video I've seen recently was one that you just sent us. And I mean to tell you that makes my heart so full. And the video I'm talking about is the one you did in support of our event. And thank you so much, sir, for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That's cool, man. No worries. Like, it's a great thing that you guys are doing. If we could fly over and do it, we would do it too, you know, and it's kind of making me wonder in terms of whether we should do something locally here, like a similar thing, you know, in terms of raising that awareness. And I mean, I'm not too familiar with the backstory, so it'd be great.
You will be today.
What you guys? I mean, I saw a little bit about it, but it'd be great to sort of hear about what has really prompted you guys to really push this in. Because when I hear bullying, I hear you know someone being literally backed into a corner, or I think of some cases that have become public knowledge in the UK. But, you know, I would love to hear it from what you
there's a lot of gray area there. And the problem with it is that it's not one type of thing that people do. And it's not one type of age group. And it's not one type of socioeconomic group or one type of race or religion or creed. It is a blanket statement. And that's the kind of the problem with the awareness. And I believe in what we're doing, and I appreciate you believing in us, and that makes all the difference in the world. Thank you, sir.
No worries. I mean, it's such a, like I said, I meant what I said when it's, it's a topic that is quite close to my heart. I know quite a few people that have been bullied. I mean, I myself have been, and it definitely, especially when, you're criticized from, there is that prejudice in terms of who you are. And there isn't that acceptance. And then you have, a gang of, people that are, certainly misinformed. And then they just think, well, you're wrong. And I totally understand it. And it's just such a shame that there isn't enough support for it, especially for children, like, at young ages, I think, and especially when kids that come home and don't talk to their parents, or they feel embarrassed, so they don't have an avenue to talk to. They don't have that avenue to be able to express themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Which I think is a good thing that you guys are actually showing as well, that you can use music in a positive way to be able to get the frustrations out. To be able,
yes, sir,
yeah, absolutely.
Good thing, I guess, and I could definitely say this. I was lucky as a kid to be able to, focus on music, focus on guitar, focus on, bands, looking up who my heroes are and all that kind of stuff. As opposed to, and that took me away from focusing on the negative stuff in that sense. So, where like people were looking at me because people were talking to me because like, oh, what's Slayer? Like, oh God, like, oh, you listen to them? Oh, we're not going to talk to you. Like, that kind of thing.
Makes
it's
sense.
that whole feeling of isolation, like people, and you just don't know. Or like, you're there and you've got like a Metallica patch on your back and then it gets torn off. I've had that happen before. It's just, but then, you get the more extreme things, and, definitely where it's just not cool, and especially, and this is what kind of gets me more is, and this is more to do with its image, right? And this sort of, especially with the way that young kids are exposed to social media in particular, with how, and young women, young girls are, this is how we're supposed to look, and you have one that might be a little bit different, or just just not even be different, but then that's the one that gets picked on. She would get picked on and then made to feel like she's it's horrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually making me quite angry.
I'm hearing you get pissed as you keep talking. Well, listen, you mentioned something you'd like to see happen there. You're not the first one to tell us that. From your region. Yeah, we've actually had a couple people tell us they'd like to do something. And to be quite honest, we'd like to see something happen over there. We'd be willing to be involved in something over there and get something going. So that may be sometime here in the not too distant future where we branch out. We're actually going to move. This year's in Missouri. Next year we're looking to do it in California. But we're also looking to, all over the world. This is something that's got legs, man, and it needs to get out. It needs to happen. People need to be educated in a lot of different ways.
Yeah. And we're learning as we go.
Absolutely. We're learning a lot as we go.
Oh, yeah.
And,
this is the first year. So.
It's really nice to see the music community, because we're here in the U.S., obviously, and I've reached out to bands all over the world. We just now got a video in as we're talking to you from a band in Germany that sent us a video. You sent us one. Adam Leader from England sent
Austria.
us one. Yeah. Got one from Austria yesterday. We got another one from Brutai in England, who's playing Download this week, by the way.
Yeah,
and,
they are.
Yeah. And Hammerjack out of the UK, out of London, I think. And they just keep coming from all over the world. And people are on board. They see what's going on. They see the necessity of this whole thing. And we are so thankful to see that outpouring of support. Yeah, we really are.
Very much.
And to see, and people like yourself, Quiny, and we're here having a good time. And quite honestly, you may be our all-time favorite guest, if I can say that, because you're down to earth. You appreciate what we're doing,
actually
and you're part of it.
Member of
you're basically
anyway.
You're basically a member of this family. And to see you guys reach out and help us out and take it to heart and all that, we truly appreciate that. We talk about music all the time. We talk about all the fun stuff. We try to giggle on the show, all that. But there are some things in this world that we need to touch on that are a little more serious. And we do appreciate the fact that the people we deal with find it as important as we do and get involved. And so thank you again for that.
No, it's awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it to light, I think, more than anything in terms of the actual topic and, the seriousness of what goes on in this world. I think it's just horrible, and what you're saying about the blanket statement of bullying, it does need to be stopped, but can it be stopped? That's
probably not. Probably not. But if we intervene in one life, it's worth it.
Well, and if
we can make a dent,
and if we could teach people how to react to the act of what's happening, that's the thing. That's the awareness part, in my opinion. My opinion is, how do you react and how do you handle it? And is there people backing your play when you handle someone bullying you?
Yep.
You can't stop the bullies, but we can change how we deal with them.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Hey, how's this sound? How's this sound, Quiny? Honest Brutality presents Bands Against Bullying, London.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I like it.
I was just thinking.
Headlined by Kill For Company. What do you think of that?
I don't know if we'll headline it, but,
you're so humble. I love you. I'm going to bully you into doing this.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The puns are starting now. Here we go. I missed this.
Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to kind of get out there on the airwaves?
Keep your eyes peeled in terms of Kill For Company and, just, what we're doing. And we appreciate, you guys have taken us, pretty much, under your wing and, doing the reviews and, sharing stuff out in terms of things that we do. And, there's going to be a lot more coming out of this band, soon. So
good.
And it's still very early days. That's the thing. For us, I mean, in our scene, we have to pay our dues, man.
Right.
It's very, so we've been in bigger bands when we were younger or whatever and all that kind of stuff. It's literally whether or not people will take a chance on you is quite a difficult thing.
Yeah.
But now that we finally have something tangible that's out, hopefully promoters will. I mean, it was funny actually. We played in Oxford last night, and one of the promoter came up to me and he was like, "I've been playing your EP all week," and I was like, "Cool. When can we come back?" That was my thing. So okay, you like it, and then he said, "You guys were even better than when you played last time." I was like, "Great."
Last time,
like, don't forget us. Like, just book us again. That's all we got to do, you know. We are coming back to those places, so.
All right, brother. Well, it's been fun, man.
Yeah, man, it's been awesome. I had a great time.
Well, real quick for the listening audience, so they know how to get a hold of you and to reach out and talk to you, get your music, book your band, and all of that good stuff. Where do they do it? Yeah,
sure. So you can contact us via facebook.com, Kill For Company Metal. You can also get a hold of us you can get our music, our new EP, Sadness Lasts Forever. It's on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. You can go to our Bandcamp if you want to support the band and get it there. killforcompany1.bandcamp.com. If you're looking to book us, you can contact us via our Facebook or through our management now at Raging Demon Entertainment. And you can just keep your eyes peeled on the Facebook, keep your eyes peeled on the internet, like generally, and just see what we're up to.
Perfect. And all things Kill For Company will be floating around on Honest Brutality too, so there's always that.
Thank you. Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys, like, literally, supporting us. It actually does, especially when things do get quite, difficult, when we're literally on the hunt trying to, get shows and stuff. And, it actually does really mean a lot to us that, that you guys in particular do, support what we do and actually enjoy what we do. And especially from a musical sense, like, it's not what I like about you guys is that it's not necessarily about the profile. It's more about actually, we dig your tunes, right. Which is such a big thing that I feel is lost. And I'm probably going to get in a lot of shit for saying that. But like, it's a big thing is lost in music nowadays, And we really appreciate that. You guys use your ears. It's great.
Hey, man, that means a lot. That's
a huge compliment.
That's cool, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much, Quiny.
Lightning Brown.
What was the other one? Oh,
Quiny the Coward.
Quiny the Coward.
Quiny the Cowardly Cat Hater.
Quiny the badass axe man from Kill For Company. We appreciate you so much as being our guest today.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.
I love that guy's laughter. It is so contagious.
His laugh is just
you know what's funny is he's so unassuming, and then when you lay something on him, you can tell it's an authentic laugh. When you get him.
It cracks me up that you got the nicest guys in the world, the most humble, sweet, upright guys, and their music is so aggressive and brutal and brilliant.
Yeah.
So Kill For Company, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor and do them a favor. Go support it. Pay the couple bucks for the 4-song EP. You should have it. You should have it in your playlist. If you don't, you're not a fan of this show and you're not a fan of metal. It's one of the greatest EPs that's come out in a long time, and it is hardcore. It is good stuff.
Plug it in and go to the gym.
Right? In the meantime, this has been Honest Brutality. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can check out all things Honest Brutality at honestbrutality.com. If you do listen to this on iTunes or anything else, please rate, review, and subscribe. That's important. Keep forgetting to plug that, but it is very important. It keeps us relevant. And listen to us on Rock Rage Radio. We have a show every Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, where we play all kinds of crazy stuff and more of this shenanigan type thing. And on Tuesdays,
Tuesdays where we have our center stage with Honest Brutality, where we talk to bands and we play their music. So it's pretty good stuff. And that's 5 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Come rock with us and then call us after you've rocked with us at 530-962-0411.
And check us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the pertinent different social medias that seem to be relevant. I don't know. It's always changing. But
it's so true.
But what I do know is that you should be listening to Kill For Company. You should be hanging out with Honest Brutality. And you should be staying metal! See, I threw an ing in there on you.
I saw it coming. Stay metal. I got you.
Thank you.
All the
Honest brutality.